Bronze Army, we're going to see them again pick up the Howitzer and Belka. So I'm not seeing a whole lot changing out of these drafts.
Yeah, I'd imagine we're going to see similar to what we saw in the previous game, unless Bronze Army is going to switch something up drastically. But same old business as usual for these teams. Belka Howitzer, the Oxygen had it last game, still serves the exact same purpose here for Bronze Army. Both those heroes synergize well with each other, but also they have some anti-synergy that you want to restrict one team having Belka against your Howitzer. So many reasons to pick up those two in the next phase of the game here. Still lacking a front line is Bronze Army. Countess is not a hero you want to be initiating with. She's more of a cleanup janitor role hero than she is a primary initiation hero when it comes down to those team fights. So as far as the jungler goes, there's Sevarog. I think he's probably the next best option if you're looking for someone tanky in the jungle for Bronze Army. But Arctic Wolves there once again. Narbash, we've seen a lot of Narbash, and I think that's mostly just due to the fact that Decker and Rampage are just constantly being banned out or first pick, and Narbash is pretty much the next.
Hold on a sec, because it looks like we do have the wrong draft up. So
apologies
for that, guys.
I was wondering, I'm like, it looks exactly the same.
I was like, yeah, we don't really have a whole lot of variety here, and I wonder why. We do have a game here. Do you just want to go into that?
We'll do the next best thing. Yeah, let me load it. I actually don't have it loaded up here.
All right.
Just
we'll get
a second. I was like, man, they're drafting this. They're just. Why even have a draft at this point? Okay, it actually is very different. We'll get that.
Yeah, just a little bit different here. So as soon as you're ready on that, I'll just go through the picks real quick. So we have the Kwang, Murdoch, Howitzer, Countess, and Belka here for Bronze Army. And then on the side of Arctic Wolves is going to be a Gideon, Sparrow, Feng Mao.
Hello.
Yes. Cosby and playing the Grux, and then finally a Decker picked up for Arctic Wolves. So are you ready at 5 seconds?
I'm so ready. Let's do this, my man.
All right, let's just do it. We're going to roll with the punches here. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the losers finals here. Whoever wins this moves on to day number 2. So a lot is on the line for both of these teams going into this. These guys have already faced each other once before, and Arctic Wolves just absolutely dominated that game. Bronze Army, though, they've had another match to reconsolidate, regroup, and try to get themselves back together. We've seen this team have moments of brilliance in previous events, and if they're able to go back to what they know and are able to team fight in a much better capacity, a little bit more cleanly, they could find themselves moving on day number 2, but they got to get through Arctic Wolves here first. I got to say, Survivor, you compared him to the likes of iCameron, and Suki and Imsco and all those other guys we know, and he definitely, I believe you at this point. He is isolated right now, taking a lot of damage, but he is going to be able to get away. Crazy Full using the hamstring. Both these teams are a bumping of the fists. No one taking any heavy blows, though. Just sort of testing the water. Survivor almost got taken out, but thankfully his team was there to provide peel for him.
It's kind of interesting that the Belka decides to go with leveling up the drone first here. It's interesting for that level 1 fight that you want to try to limit the enemy team's mana there, because it's just level 1. Everybody has the ability to just cast one spell. Like that's all they're going to be able to do. There's not going to be all the like spamming that you see from, say, Gideon or Howitzer. So it's a little bit strange to me to level up the drone at level 1 might be able to benefit a little bit more from, say, the Seismic Assault, but still, the beginning fight, everybody ends up taking 0 deaths at all, so we are still waiting for our first blood here.
As far as the laning going to go, it looks like Countess is going to be in that off lane versus the duo lane of Sparrow and Decker. Last time we saw this, Phasma was on the Muriel, and I was very, very critical of it. Muriel being such a very defensive-based hero that during the laning phase, she grants you very little gank potential and very little potential to bully someone out of lane. Decker, on the other hand, can set up ganks, has a lot more harassment potential. So I think, and against a offlaner of Countess, who until level 5 and even to a certain point after level 5, is has a difficult time finding farm. I think this lane can go well into the hands of Arctic Wolves. Bronze is my favorite color, has to play this very, very smart, or he's going to be giving up kills. He just has to accept the fact that his farm is going to be mitigated for the first 5 to 8 minutes of this match. Either that, or when Phasma rotates off for other objectives on the map, look for a kill or a gank on the Survivor.
Yeah, I think that the Decker works a little bit better for Phasma here. When you put him on the Muriel, you really do need to get that level 5 up pretty quickly. I think if Arctic Wolves do want to play Muriel, they're kind of forced to put her into the offlane role just to get a couple of levels on her. We see a couple of rotations actually coming out early, but just the way that Phasma plays the Decker, you can get a little bit more done with less levels, which is makes it a little bit more acceptable to have him on the Decker.
Into the jungle, trying to catch out Miso sneaky. Smash and grab board used.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there it is. Phasma barely able to get that last auto attack on to the Kwang right before he hit that jump pad. So first blood going over to Decker of all people, but you know what? Hey, that's one more card point closer to
beautiful double stun.
Beautiful. Yeah. Follow-up's not there, though. Void Drone being used as a zoning tool to get him out of there, but already Arctic Wolves are being aggressive, finding kills. Almost found another one shortly thereafter. And Cosby on Grux, this is what he does, man. This is why he's known as being one of the better Grux players and better junglers, is because he just has that game sense where he always knows where to rotate, where the opponent is, and gets those big smash and grabs, setting up kills for the first couple minutes of the match.
Yeah, I think that even though the Decker Grux combo wasn't able to get a kill there, just the fact that they're communicating well, like Cosme didn't have to go for that smash and grab, but he did, just kind of shows that they're already communicating well as a team. And even though they know that they can definitely beat Bronze Army here, just that little morale booster after the loss
Look at
against
what
Oxygen
Crazy Fool's
NA.
just about to get a 1v2 kill, real casual 1v2 kill here. Takes out the support Belica, is able to dodge auto attacks here from Murdoch and gets away. So first time we've seen our boy Feng Mao, and already impressive performance here from Crazy Fool, picking up a kill that I feel like in any other situation really isn't obtainable.
Yeah, it's like the first kill that I missed today as well. So gosh darn it, got to get on the game pith. Yeah,
matter of time before it happens. It's fine. Bronze is my favorite color, doing a decent job of not taking too much harassment at full health. Of course, has the health potion and the health token, which is the tried and true off-lane cards that you pick up here. Decker has rotated off, and it's just Survivor, and Bronze is my favorite color. Countess not too far from level 5. Generally can't get that insta-kill 1v1 onto the Sparrow right away when he hits level 5, especially because he hasn't backed yet to spend his points for just a little bit extra power. But still, Survivor needs to be a little careful here. If the wave is pushed out for Bronze is my favorite color, and he has the wave advantage, he absolutely could get a pick-off on the Survivor. But Phasma's already rotating back over, make sure that isn't the case. Again, we see Cosby getting aggressive in the jungle. The green buff is about to spawn. He lands a smash and grab onto Belica, who's still level 1. The bleed, yeah, that's actually going to get a kill. Belica being level 1. I mean, it's a support Belica, don't get me wrong, but being that far down on experience, you're going to get picked up on kills like that, especially with aggressive of a player as Cosby. So Arctic goes again, they strike, and they strike swiftly.
And Survivor just looking for that piercing shot over at right.
Got him.
Actually, wow. That was quite close. So Survivor's still doing all the work that he can here. He's doing quite well as a Sparrow. We've come to expect it from him. You give him one of the best rangers in the game, he's definitely going to deliver. And I think Arctic Wolves are just used to this. They know that Survivor is going to be playing up his game, and even if I get the luck of having him in a game with me, and I know that he's going to be able to put things, do a lot of work as the ranger. So yeah, Phasma unfortunately getting taken out there, but Survivor just really doing a good job as the ranger, and we've come to expect it from him time and time again.
Me so tired, just smashing that Q button. Phasma overstaying his welcome. He was sitting there for a while at like 1/3 HP against the Howitzer. If you do that, it's only a matter of time before he gets the combo off, and so Howitzer's going to get a kill right there onto Decker. Maybe that was Phasma's way of just getting back to base faster. You know what I mean? It's faster than hitting the back button, having it back all the way up. But still, you don't want to be giving card experience to a Howitzer unnecessarily. So they're going to be happy with that. Finally getting themselves on the board, desperately needed. And it looks like, are we seeing a lane switch up here, or is Countess going to be going to mid? Because now that Howitzer is here, putting Countess in mid, maybe we'll see that to be the case. Crazy Fool is inside of the jungle. He got tethered up right there by Kwang Suki, leading the charge as well, but they're not going to be able to find much going on here. So Arctic Wolves are getting they have found themselves several kills and situations that really I felt that they shouldn't have been able to get those kills, but just through outplaying and taking advantage of them to make their opponents and he can looking for more kills, getting aggressive into the jungle. Not finding them this time around, but I think if they continue that concerted aggression, they're going to be able to find those eventually.
They're also being able to go for the Raptors right now with that early advantage that they already have. So we're at 8 minutes. We get the first 2 Raptors spawning, and the Countess, she is getting pretty close.
They know what's going on. Cosby has to be careful. The double stasis bomb. Suki's going to come in here, and there's the big black hole. He's separating them and slowing them. Miso Sneaky's able to get out of there. He's cutting down Survivor as best that he can. The Feast is going to take down Sparrow, so this early Raptors play is not working out right here. And MisoJiBoosted is going to flank around over onto Grux, get the kill, and Phasma's going to be the next target. And gets taken out by the Lightning of Kwong. So Countess went down, but a 1-for-3 exchange. I think that was just Arctic Wolves getting a little bit too overconfident. Picking up Raptors that early, even with Grux, is a very, very risky proposition, and you see exactly why right there.
Yeah, it's just really risky to take the Raptors that early, and yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily too greedy from Arctic Wolves, but it is a good rotation from Bronze Army, doing what they need to in order to make sure that they don't lose out too much in this match. Still, Crazy Fool did put a little bit of damage onto that right tower, so it should be able to go down with that at least one more push.
And he's already heading over that way. MisoJiBoosted picking up, I believe, actually 2 assists in that fight right there. Despite the fact that they took that fight, they still find themselves behind economically here. You see 13, 13, 13 on Cosby, Suki, and Survivor. Only person at 13 right now is the Kwong of all people here. Crazy Fool getting aggressive on a MisoJiBoosted, trying to juke around right there. Cosby whiffing on the ultimate there.
All about the dominance.
Psychological warfare is what that is. At least that's what Cosby's telling himself at this point in time. So MisoJiBoosted got himself out of a very sticky situation. All the meanwhile, Survivor just free farming. Phasma still protecting the Sparrow, despite the fact that most of their opponent is elsewhere on the field. And I think just more so that's because Phasma wants to hit level 5 and get that containment fence online very, very early. The Decker plus Sparrow combination is you can't ever take advantage of, or disrespect it. You always have to be cognizant of it, because the cleave on top of the containment fence alone has just won games before that combination. So containment fence online here, and I won't be surprised if we see them will be online momentarily here, and I won't be surprised if we see a push when that happens. Rotation from Howitzer. Feast actually is able to sidestep down the last barrage, but is the zone control to make it rain? Sure, she was able to dodge the damage, but being forced to be in that situation is going to cause the death of him nonetheless. And now another rotation. If the Shadow Slip is there from Countess, they should be able to pick up this kill, but actually uses mana on another ability, and is not going to have enough mana to secure the kill onto Cosby. So now Suki is here, maybe looking to get a turnaround kill. There's the burden to get the snare. Gets disconnected from the line of sight, and actually because of that, Suki got a little bit overzealous. Decker gets isolated and gets taken out. So 2 kills over Bronze Army. I have to say, Pith, Bronze Army in this game, the second time we've casted these 2 teams going at it, are looking much, much better than the first go-around.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe they just learned a little bit of something from the first match, and MisoJiBoosted actually takes advantage of the space and is able to take that tower, walks right past his trap. I don't know if Crazy Fool can actually get this.
With Suki here, potentially, because the tier 1 tower is down. If he just Reaping dashes forward and gets the hamstring, and Suki is also flanking as well, all he has to do is hit that mash that R button. And yeah, he is going to get taken out, not even necessary. And I actually might get aggressive onto the Countess here. Miso Tire's rotating, but they're going to back up. They got the kill they were looking for. They took down the Murdoch. And just a good rotation there from Suki to get the kill that more than likely wouldn't have happened otherwise.
Yeah, it was a good rotation there in order to help get the kill. So it's a very important one onto the Murdoch. Earlier, though, you did see that Murdoch's going to be able to get involved in a couple of kills around the map with the Countess Feast. It's all about who they do actually put that aggression onto with that combo in case they want to get that hero actually down. But that is something that they're going to be able to engage in over the rest of this match.
Again, Raptors being taken. I mean, they showed up a little bit late, but yeah, that's another massive infusion of card experience with the gold buff. So 1,200 card experience, a level and 120% of a card level right there. 3 people pushing this down. This tier 1 tower, I'd imagine, is going to be falling here. They don't have a siege minion, though, but the response coming out from Bronze Army is going to be too late. The tower's already about a quarter HP, and they're going to pick up this offlane tower 13 minutes here. Are they going to continue this push? They have to be careful. One of the biggest strengths of Countess, other than her pick-off potential, is her wave clear. Actually has some of the best wave clear in the game. Once she gets maybe her second or third damage at them, she can clear out a wave with just one rotation of her abilities.
Yeah, Countess definitely known for putting, like, the thing about her is her abilities synergize really well with each other, and she's definitely really set for being able to take out waves, have a lot of sustainability. Meanwhile, Cosby's
gonna get punished. He went in for a green buff invasion, but it was a one-man invasion, if that's what you want to call it. And Bronze Army was sitting there waiting for it and punished Cosby for it. That when you do the same thing over and over, it's only a matter of time before teams start catching on. Tether, Judgment of the Heavens onto Survivor, snared up. The Honor of the Pure has been used by Phasma. Phasma is level 5, so he does have Containment Fence as a backup plan if he needs to protect Survivor, but just the Stasis Bomb is going to be enough for Survivor to get out of there. So Void Drone used as well. Miso Tired actually dodges the Earth Spike coming out from Crazy Fool, and he's going to get taken out. So just like that, two kills going over to Bronze Army. First the Grux, and then the Fang Miao. This is very similar to what we saw Arctic Wolves do against Team Oxygen, the same sort of Bruiser-esque frontline instead of a very tanky one like a Rampage. And anytime those guys are apart from each other, they generally get picked off like that. When they're together, they're always focusing and playing very well together, but just like that, the two Bruisers of Arctic Wolves gives up kills that could have been avoided, and Bronze Army aren't going to complain about that one there, Pith.
Yeah, for sure. The Kwang comes in with a good tether to keep the Fang Mao right in the middle of the Make It Rain. So he had an okay initiation, but then the Make It Rain came out, so that Shattered Earth didn't really do anything at all to the Howitzer. He tried to do something, but the rest of his team just weren't really ready for it. They had already tried to take a fight and didn't really succeed too well. So we're seeing a point in the game where Arctic Wolves, they're kind of getting outplayed right now. Beautiful landmines from Miso. Tired. Yep. Oh, I guess I'm a little bit tired as well, but it's a good. It's a really good name.
Miso sneaky gets the tether again. The R2000 rocket is there, and Bronze Army get a very important kill. Cosby to fall next as well. There's that lineup of the Feast and the Long Arm of the Law that we've been waiting for even since we casted them the first time today. And this is a different team than what we saw. They are playing much better, and I think Arctic was maybe... are they a little... I mean, is there a tilt factor to be taken into account right here, right now, Pith, after their long, hard-fought game that they ended up losing against Oxygen? Arctic Wolves are not playing like what we saw in the previous game against Oxygen, and Bronze Army has stepped it up as well, and those factors coming together is Bronze Army in firm control of this game. It's 10-6 kills. They're a little bit behind in CS. Economically speaking, sure, they're behind, but not by much at all. Suki is going to Cosmic Rift forward onto Misoji boosted, misses the Cosmic Rift onto him there, so not going to be able to kill potential. Gideon definitely at this stage of the game can take down any carry 1v1, but if he misses his abilities like that, that's going to be an opportunity whiffed right there.
I really hate using the word tilt. I don't really... It's hard to tell sometimes if teams are actually, trying to go for extra things and making themselves have to, increase their level of play just because they're not really realizing the game situations that well. So I really don't like using that term. But yeah, I feel like right now Arctic Wolves are trying to do a little bit too much with what they have, and they just need to kind of settle back and farm up. They do have that mechanical ability over Bronze Army, who are playing a little bit more like Silver Army right now, just a little bit better than Bronze.
Yeah, I agree.
Just a little bit. But they really just need to sit back and relax because they do have the ability to win this game pretty hard, as they did show earlier today. They're just not really allowing themselves to just take those calm fights that they have the ability to.
They're grouping up here. Once again, the Raptors were taken there from Arctic Wolves. That's the biggest thing that's keeping them economically in this game, is the fact that they've had full Raptor control and actually building a very considerable advantage between the two carries here of 22-26 on Survivor. Despite the fact that Survivor's 1-3-1, the Raptors have been the difference maker here, Pith, and they continue to take control of it. There's really only been one time where Bronze Army actually put up a fight against it. I think if Bronze Army start to have a little bit more zone control, and I'm sorry, you're right, they're Silver now, they've been promoted. If Silver Army are able to have a little bit more zone control and heads up around those Raptors, that they would be in 100% control of this game, but they haven't. They've been more focused on the team fight aspect of it, and that's why we always put so much emphasis onto the Raptors, because they are a mechanism to where if you are behind on other fronts inside of the game, they keep you into a match that you otherwise would not be able to. So Arcticos have to be counting their blessings right now because of those Raptors, and because that Silver Army, as we are now calling them, really haven't been punishing them that early on, because it's very easy to punish that. That area is not where you want to take a fight, especially this early on when the Raptors are doing so much damage that you're already wounded from the Raptors, but by the time the fight even starts, and you have the heavy pick-off potential, like a pick comp almost, coming out here from Silver Army with the Countess and the Long Arm of the Law. If they are able to punish them for that Raptors, I feel like they could just clean up very, very easy, get a kill on the Sparrow, and then take the Raptors for themselves. You can tell now they're starting to posture a little bit more around him here. And I think they're finally starting to realize, like, how the hell are the Survivor have so much farm? Let's keep an eye on the Raptors a little bit more.
Yeah, so the wording on the map is getting a little bit affected here. Silver Army trying to make sure that their wards aren't going to be taken out at all, and they're being able to control a little bit more here. If we look at the towers, only behind by one of those, only the mid lane tower is still alive as a tier 1. So they're still doing a lot of work right now, and they have taken some great fights, possibly off of some misplays from Arctic Wolves getting caught out a little bit more, as MiSoTyred just kind of playing around the Luna a little bit more than he should, actually. So he's going to just get back to the rest of his team. We have a nice collapse on the Cosby, possibly.
MiSoTyred lands a mine here. He should be dead. Yep. Knocked him back. The feast used as well. Not necessary, but hey. Why not?
Yeah,
so
why not?
Cosby continues to use invasion. He forced a big response out of Silver Army, while the rest of his team is on the other side of the field pushing out a tier 2. But the response is already in tow. Bellica should be able to clean this up, as well as Countess is there too. So Survivor's AFK farming while that's happening, but here comes Kwong. Miso Sneaky is not going to land that tether that could have been real big for him. Stasis Bomb is going to provide more appeal. You can tell bronze is my favorite color. They're gunning for that kill onto the Sparrow, but it's simply not going to happen there. So Arcticos are playing a little bit more to the map. I think if Cosby was just able to retreat right there, they're trying to manipulate the movement of their opponents. But the caveat to that is you have to be so very careful of getting collapsed on, and that's pretty much what happened. So they're playing this style, but they're not really playing around the weaknesses of it.
Yeah, for sure. I think the main thing right now for Silver Army is that they need to make sure that they don't get outmaneuvered by Arctic Wolves. They can win these fights pretty well, as they've shown us, but when these fights are going on, they have to be making sure that they're not losing a tier 2 tower at the same time. So they have to both continue to win those fights and make sure that they don't give up map control.
Crazy Fool Reaping Dash aggressively on a MiSoTyred, using the Make It Rain, try to zone him out. He actually almost was knocked in there. Miso Sneaky land a tether that I feel like should have been a pretty straightforward tether to land right there. Cosby takes a lot of damage. Cosby just has not been much of a factor in this game thus far. In fact, quite the opposite. Has been really lending more to his opponent than he has for his own team. R2000 Rocket's going to land not quite enough damage. Miso Sneaky, I don't think he has enough mana to land a tether. Tower gets taken out all the meanwhile there. So kill potential on both sides of the field, but both of them come up short here. And it's just it's a matter of time before one of those ability lines up and one of these guys finds a kill. But until then, both the carries are just farming to their heart's content.
Yeah, for sure. So right now, if we take a look at the card points, we still have a pretty big advantage on Survivor at 32 points over MiSoTyred. Well, he's actually the first one on his own team at 30, but MiSoJaBusa is just at 28. And also, if you take a look at his kill score, he's at 0, 1, and 2, which suggests that he hasn't really been able to take part in as many kills as they might like to. There haven't been as many kills on the map with this Countess combo, and hasn't really been able to get involved with the Long Arm of the Law. We'll see if they go for it here.
Right, as you say that, there's the Long Arm of the Law. Suki takes a lot of damage. Gideon, not really the target you want to be using that on there, Pith. With the mobility that he has with Torn Space, he's going to be able to get away from those ganks every single time. So they do fulfill the prophecy of getting that combo off, but unfortunately the part that they missed out of that prophecy is you don't want to do it on Gideon. And because of that, they're going to get taken out. And a kill picked up right there for Arctic Wolves. Arctic Wolves are definitely starting to stabilize a bit. The first couple of minutes, we were criticizing their play how they felt a little disconnected from each other and were a little bit sloppy. But the past about 5 minutes or so, they've come together and have shapened up very, very quickly. So a concerted push into the tier 2 tower. Not sure if this is something that the tier 2 tower isn't the priority here. I think they're just trying to, again, dictate the movement of their team while Crazy Fool tries to split push down this tower. So split pressure is the name of the game here for Arctic Wolves. And I don't know if that's the right call, given the fact that they have a power play they had a power play for about 20 seconds. I think maybe falling back into the jungle, warding it up, and taking camps would have been a little bit more efficient for their time. But nonetheless, I don't think they're going to be disappointed with that last series of events.
Yeah, this is a bit of a strange setup for Arctic Wolves. I think they just believe they still can't really take the full-on team fight because, you know, Bronze Army have been doing quite well here. They have been getting the fights that they need. They've been getting the pickoffs and putting really out a huge amount of damage with the Countess and Howitzer. I think Howitzer has been really a big part of this match, getting some big rockets out, and just the amount of damage that you can do with those is really setting things up for Bronze Army here. So as long as he can continue with that and it does enough damage to Arctic Wolves, I think that Bronze Army are going to be in a really good spot here.
A Raptor just spawned, and both of these teams are now posturing for a contention of this area. Cosby moving forward, charging forward onto Miso Sneaky, but I'm not going to find that opportunity to smash and grab. And they're just going to be able to recognize it. So Bronze Army are, for the first time, the ones actually finding themselves fighting down the Raptor. Phasma's there. This is, I thought it was maybe looking for a containment fence there. Because if you're going to get a big 3, 4, 5-man containment fence, that's where it's going to happen at the Raptors. But Arctic Wolves were not grouped up to take a fight. It's only one Raptor, but still, at least we're starting to see a little bit more priority and a little bit more rotation around those Raptors, which they have not done much of anything up until this point.
I think it's actually been possibly a little bit too much PvE from Arctic Wolves. You see them still trying to get a lot of efficiency around the map, and you can see that they are pretty far ahead on farm, but when it comes to these fights, they're heavily outmanned in pretty much every single one of them. And we have said that Bronze Army need to be very aware about when these pushes are coming through. And there is actually going to be one over onto the tier 2 tower at left, which might actually go down to this because Bronze Army don't get fast. Dead. They don't get that fast.
Yeah, this tower's just dead. I'm not sure what they're doing. They were just all hanging out kind of around the strong side of the jungle and just outside the perimeter of Ward Prime. I don't think they realized how close it was. Cosby coming in with the purple buff. Countess thinks it's like, I'm going to go onto there, but not going to happen. River buff control lends you things to do that. Miso Sneaky now going in as well. And he has to be very, very careful. So the tier 2 towers have fallen as well as the Countess kill. Arctic Wolves have definitely stabilized their emotions, I would say, if that was a factor. If anything, they've at least stabilized their playstyle, whatever the contributing factor was for the first couple of minutes to that sloppiness. And they have been in full control ever since. Falling back around this weak side of the area, there is no Raptor to be had, but more so just warding the area, getting zone and perimeter control. Crazy Fool has been doing his best Ramriddle's impersonation here, Pith, as all he's done is just been pushing this lane down constantly, and it's really allowed them to have a good amount of map control, and which has allowed them to stabilize and ultimately take control of the game. So even though Crazy Fool might not be contributing much to the team fights, to the overall state of the game, he has been a big factor in it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's, like you said, doing his best Ramriddle's impersonation and is putting a lot of pressure on that side, which, as you can see, has pulled the Miso stack over to the right side to just try to defend him, which allowed them to take a tier 2 tower on the other side. So, yeah, Crazy Fool being a pretty big part of Arctic Wolves' map domination here and allowing them to get the jump pads away from Bronze Army.
Let's take a look at the numbers here. We haven't taken a look at it in a while. Survivor still in a very dominant lead with 43 card points, well ahead of anyone else on the field. Suki has picked up that Hydraverser and all the Adamant Edges, boys. That's the Adamant Edge is the value card of choice when it comes to these high-level players. Cosby, once again, has this Shadow Plane buff, the purple buff. He was spotted out by a ward right by the green buff, so Miso Sneaky knows about it. I think more so just acting like he doesn't see him. But they're looking for some aggression here. Into mid lane they go. Void... Oh, wait, that's just a Void Drone bug. That's right, it's not actually there. Okay, I was like, what in the world? There's Void Drones literally everywhere on the map right now. Over to Orb Prime. This would be interesting. They're going to go for it here, Pith. And Is Bronze Army going to recognize it? I think they know about it because they do have a ward right there, and Miso Tire just spotted it out as well. This is a ballsy play to call it, to put it lightly.
Yeah, they just go right
Miso
for it,
Sneaky's
though.
going to go in. But oh no, the root from the Orb Prime actually catches on Miso Sneaky. Didn't realize that was happening. And he's going to get taken out here. Just one more swing of that Halberd coming out from Crazy Fool. And also, Murdoch got taken out as well. So the very, very confident play coming out from Arctic Wolves is going to give them the Orb Prime as well as 3 kills with the the right lane pushing out. That's where they're all going to go here. And one more kill or just a good push right here could be the game. Have we seen Phasma use one containment fence yet, Pith? I don't think we've seen one containment fence this entire game.
Maybe he just didn't level it up.
Right, maybe he's going with that new aged Decker build where he
meta.
used one of the strongest teamfight ultimates.
There it is! Oh my god, he used it!
Oh, we did it! He did it! It's you know, it didn't hit anyone, but at least it's protecting the inhibitor. Kamikaze's in trouble. He's going to blink away. Crazy Fool's going to repeat dash in there. And once again, get the kill. Bronze is my favorite Gallagher. Gets taken out. And just like that, Arctic Wolves, the first couple of minutes, they didn't look too good, but they got themselves back together. They huddled up, Pith, and they took that game. And Arctic Wolves have booked themselves a ticket.
A ticket.
A ticket to day number 2. So I'm happy we finally see Arctic Wolves moving on to the semifinals. It's been a while, but well-deserved. Congratulations to them. Bronze Army, we'll have to see them back for another time there, Pith.
Yeah, they're going to have to maybe improve their ELOs a little bit so they can become, you know, a little bit higher than just Bronze Army. But they did put up a really good show in that one, and it was a lot more of a close match than the first time we saw Arctic Wolves versus Bronze Army. So good luck to them to maybe try to improve a little bit. But Arctic Wolves, they do make it into the second day of competition here in the PCL NA, whatever number it is. I think it might be like 5 or something.
It's 5, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, 5 is a good number.
Who's counting?
I did a little. There we go. Yeah. But they do really well there, and we had a great day of action here in the PCL NA. Overall, I mean, this was just Group A matches. Shout out to the guys over at the second stream doing the Group B. Like they were, I'm sure they've been doing.
Jack and Nate, yeah.
Jack and Nate, yeah. They've been doing, I'm sure, a great job the entire time, and I can't wait for them to be able to join us tomorrow.
That's right, guys. So we're going to see you here tomorrow for day number 2, the semifinals, as the bracket has played itself out here. Thank you, everyone, for watching and supporting our event, but more importantly, supporting Competitive Paragon. Thank you for watching and everything that you've done thus far. One more time before we go, exclamation mark Matcherino. If you guys want to support these teams monetarily, that's the place you can do it. But until then, tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, right here at twitch.tv/Paragon Competitive League. I'm Shane. That's Pith. Big shout out to, of course, all of our admins and moderators who all of you guys are awesome and are a big contributing factor, and you guys keep the gears running in the background. Chat, if we could please get some love for our moderators and our admins, as they are they don't get as much recognition as they should, and they're a vital part to the success and the growth that we have had. So thank you to you guys. But that's it from everyone here on behalf of the Paragon Competitive League. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love and all of your kind words. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you in Agora.